Hello guys, welcome back to another amazing tutorial of our episodes. In this video, I'm going to be showing us how to design this amazing flyer here. Alright, so we're going to be designing this flyer from scratch. So the first thing first, we are going to create a new document, okay, and then I'm going to call this church flyer, okay, yeah, and then our dimension, we are going to leave the width 1080 by 1350. Okay, this is Instagram size. And so because our design is going to be social media, I'm going to leave the resolution at 70. So if you're printing it, it's advisable you use 300. All right, every other settings you can leave it so. All right, so I'm going to create the document, and then the next thing I'm going to be doing now, I'm going to be creating a solid color here. So I'm going to come right to this and then select my solid color. So I'm going to pick a red background because I want my background to be red. I'm going to pick a red background, or you can just as well type this number into 0303. Alright, so that puts a red background. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do is actually to bring in my texture. So I want to start working on the background. And in case you need these resources, the link will be in the description. All right, so just ensure you just check the description for the link, and then I'll also be leaving the link to our WhatsApp for a community. If you want to join our community, it's also in the link. And then please again ensure you're subscribed to our channel. So I'm going to bring in this texture. All right, so I'm going to bring this texture, and then I'm going to scale this up. All right, I'm going to scale this up like this. All right, so I think I'm okay with this. All right, so I'm going to check that. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm actually going to change the blend mode here to lighten. Okay, so let me change that blend mode. So the next thing I'm going to do again, I'm going to bring in a second, effect. All right, I'm going to drag this to my document, and I'm going to scale this up again so that it fits into the document. Alright, so I'm okay with this. So I'm going to actually rasterize this layer. I want to desaturate it, so I'm going to rasterize, right click, and then I'll select rasterize. So I'm going to desaturate this by coming to image adjustment and then desaturate. You can as well use Ctrl Shift U to get that. Okay, so I'm going to change the blend mode. Alright, I'm going to change this blend mode to overlay. Alright, so you can see the before and then after. What I'm going to do here, I'm going to do Ctrl C, and then I'm going to just flip this holding my shift key. I'm going to just change this so I can have this effect on top. You can see before, you can see after. So it just creates that subtle effect, and I like that. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do again, I'm going to bring in our third effect. All right, so I've actually named this so that you can actually get it easier. All right, so I'm going to scale this up. All right, like that. I'm going to scale this like that. All right, so this is it, and I'm going to change the blend mode as well. I'm going to change the blend mode to, let's use hard line. Right, I think I'm okay with this. So you can see this is before, this is after. All right, so I still like this. Let me check this file. All right, let me check what we have here. So okay, all right, so that's it. Okay, so I'm actually going to reduce the opacity so that it doesn't overshadow the other effects. So I'm going to reduce the opacity to like 60. Yeah, so this is fine. So you can see the before and then the after. Alright, so I like our background is coming up. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do again, I'm actually going to bring in our third, I'll be fourth, yeah, our fourth, effect. I'm going to bring this to Photoshop. Okay, so this effect I like it so much. It's actually a game changer. All right, and I'm going to change the blend mode as well to linear dodge. Okay, um, okay, so you can see. I think this is okay. I'm actually going to change this to linear dodge. So the next thing I'm going to do here, I'm actually going to create a layer, a curves adjustment layer. Alright, so I'm going to click on this and then I'm going to select the curves. Alright, so I'm going to create a layer, a clipping mask. Alright, and then I'm going to increase the dark, dark the shadows. Alright, like so. Yes, that's okay. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do, I want to invert this layer mask. So I'm going to click on Ctrl I to invert the layer mask. Alright, and then make sure your foreground color is on white. If it's not, just click X on your keyboard to change between this. Alright, so I'm going to select my brush B, that B for brush. Okay, so if your brush is either too big or too small, you can come to this and then reduce the size here, and then make sure it's on soft brown brush. Okay, so I'm just going to click around this to review the darks. Alright, so I'm just going to click and see, just clicking around it so that I can have the, I just want the light to be concentrated in the middle here. Alright, so just clicking around the corners so that I can review the dark shadows. You can see before and then after. So yeah, kind of like this. Alright, so when I'm done, I'll actually select my move tool. Alright, so the next thing I'm actually going to do, I'm actually going to be bringing in my image. So I actually have this image here, and then I'm going to drag it into my documents. Alright, so I'm going to just place this here like this. Alright, so this is great. Usual, I'm going to be adjusting this image a little bit, doing some little retouch. I'm going to come to filter and then camera raw. So I'm waiting for this to load. Yeah, and so under this thing, I'm going to come to my basics here, and then I'm going to increase the texture, just to add texture to the image, and then I'm going to increase my clarity as well. Alright, and then I'm going to come to details and then increase the sharpening as well. Alright, you can see, so this is the before, this is after, this is before, this is after. So I'm okay with this. I'm going to click on OK. So our image is alright. So the next thing I want to do, I want to actually create a layer mask on this image so that I can be able to blend out some of these edges off. Alright, so I'm going to select, make sure it's on the image, and then I'm going to give it a mask and then use my brush tool. Alright, so I'm going to make sure this is on black. Alright, so if it's not on black, use the X. Alright, so I'm going to, I can actually reduce my brush a little bit. Alright, so that it doesn't, I can brush to this. Alright, so so that it blends with my background. Alright. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do, I just want to group all these layers, right? Control G, highlight, then Control G, and then I'll call this my BG. Alright, and then I will group this as well. Call it my image. Alright, so this is okay. So the next thing I want to do right here, I want to create a shadow around this place. So I'm going to actually select my rectangle tool, and then I'm going to create this shape, and I'll pick a black color. Alright, so I'm going to pick a black color like so, and then I'm going to come to filter, blur, Gaussian blur, and then convert to smart objects. So this is okay. This is okay. I can actually increase the height of this so that it covers more of this. I'm going to increase like this so I can have it cover. And this is too much. I'm going to drag it down like this. Drag it down like this. Alright, so this is okay. I can as well just take this image a little bit up. Alright, so this is okay. Yes, this is okay. I want to still blend in, so I'll select this mask and then B. Alright, make sure that I can actually blend in this more. Alright, so this is fine. Okay, I make okay. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to be working on is actually the text. Okay, this text here, I'll be showing you quickly how I did that. Alright, so for this text effect, for this text I actually use a text effect. Alright, so this text effect, so in case you need this effect, I actually dropped the PNG, but in case you'll be needing the raw file, let me know in the comment section so that I can actually drop the raw file for you. So what I did here, I actually if you double click on this, it actually takes you to where you can actually edit your text. All right, so you can actually type anything here. Let's say a. All right, so anything at all you can actually type. I'm actually going to control Z that. All right, so this is for my text. I actually typed the fire and then I removed the I. All right, so I actually brought in this fire effect here and then remove the white around it, and then I just placed it in between my text and then I saved it. All right, so any text you actually, let's say I actually type air here. All right, let's see, I type air, just giving us an example. So this is actually a table, and if I save this, all right, you can see it's actually still loading. You can see our text is being saved. All right, but I don't want to use that, so I'm going to control Z that. So the next thing I actually did was to uncheck this background so that when I bring it into my document it doesn't show this. So the next thing I'm going to do here is Control Shift E to have a snapshot of this text. All right, so it's still loading. All right, Control Z. I'll undo that. It's actually Control Shift Alternate E so that I can still maintain my layers. All right, what I just did initially, it doesn't allow me to maintain my layers. All right, it just converts it into a single layer. That's not what I want. I actually wanted to maintain my layers. All right, so it now creates another layer here for me. So with this now I can drag it into my document. All right, so I can drag this into my document and I'll ensure this is on the top of my layers. All right, so I'm going to Control T and then I'm going to free transform this. I'm going to reduce it to the size I want. All right, so I'm going to increase this a little like so. So I think this is fine. All right, so I'm going to just adjust this a little, just adjust it to the top a little. All right, so that's it about the text. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do, I'm actually going to bring in this text here. I believe this shouldn't be hard for us to create. Just in case you don't know, that I'll just take my shape. All right, so I'm going to create a shape here. All right, I'm going to create a shape here like so, and then I'm going to give this, let's give it a white color. All right, so I'm going to give this shape a white color. I'm going to duplicate this shape. All right, Control T, and then all right, Control T. So I'm going to just holding my Shift key. I'm going to just adjust this until I reach the center. All right, and then I'm going to change this to red. I'm going to change this to red, and let me just pick a red color here. All right, so for this white, I'm just going to leave the white like this. All right, so but then for this red, if you look at this red, they actually have different shades here from this. All right, so I actually created a gradient there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to double click here. So I'm going to come to gradient overlay, and so this is my gradient for the darker red. All right, like this. Sorry, I need to come here to what's happening here. So for this is the darker red. All right, so you can see the color there, and then this is for the lighter shade of red. All right, so I click that red, and then you're going to leave this as so. So it creates that blend there. So that's actually what I did there. So I'm not going to take much time to copy this. So type this text effect. So I'm just going to copy it and drag it here. All right, so that this video don't become too long. All right. So but then this is the text, master it, and then this is the so just ensure this is like so. I'm just going to bring in the second text as well. I don't want to waste much time on this video. All right, so I'm just going to bring in the second text as well. So for this second text, I'm going to give a black color while this is on white. All right, so I'm going to bring in the address as well. All right, you can just type in the address, your address there. All right, so I'm going to take this up a little, like so. All right, so I'm okay with this. So I'm actually going to select all of these. All right, and then Control G to put them. And I'm going to call this my text. All right, so this is my text. Okay, I think I'm okay with this. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is actually create this. All right, so that's actually simple to create. Just get your ellipse tool, and then holding the Shift key. All right, you're going to draw a perfect circle there. And so you can create. You can just put the red color. But for this color as well, you can see there's a gradient here. There's a lighter red, and then there's a dark red here. So I'm actually going to come and get my gradient as well, and maybe use the same gradient we used, but then I'm going to just change the angle like so. This, I think this is okay. All right, so I'm going to go with this. Let me duplicate this one. All right, so I can just increase this one. All right, holding the Alt key, you can just uniformly increase this. All right. All right, so I think that's okay. So I'm going to click on my property. In case you can't find this, go to Windows, right, and then make sure your properties is selected. So I'm going to come to colors. Okay, let me move. So I'm going to come to colors, and I'm going to hide this out, and then on the stroke I'm going to select white. All right, so I'm actually going to uncheck this. Yeah, so I'm actually going to uncheck this, for I don't want the gradient on this white. All right, so actually I can actually increase the my stroke like to, let's say 2. All right, I'm actually going to increase my stroke to 2, and then I can this white, I actually didn't use a pure white, so I'm actually going to maybe check, take this, or let me increase my stroke again. So let's see, say 3. Okay, so this is okay, so that's fine. So the next thing I want to do, right, the next thing I want to do is actually to um, cut this off. All right, so I can actually just take this and then cut this, all right, like that, and then I'm going to rasterize this layer to enable me to do that. All right, so I'm going to click on delete, and then yeah, it's deleted. Control D to select that. I'm going to create transform this, and I'm going to repeat this like this. Right, so I'm going to repeat this. So yeah, that's how I was able to get this. All right, so I'm going to bring in the name. I'm going to bring in the name. Right, so this is it. We're almost done. We're almost done. Hope this is not too long. I'm going to call this name. All right, I'm going to drag this into my name. All right, I'm going to also drag this as well into my name. All right, so our flyer is almost done now. I can actually drag this into this layer, or let me undo that. I have to create a group for this and call this shadow. Right, call this shadow. All right, so that's fine. So the last thing I'm going to be doing, or maybe second to the last, I'm actually going to just make some little adjustments here. So I'm going to use my hue and saturation. I'm going to just increase a little bit of reds. Let's see, minus 8 or 9. So that's fine. So you can see it just, so with this hue and saturation, you can actually change the color of your design. You can see, all right, you can see how that changes. So for this effect, I'm just going to use -9, like so. And then I'm going to bring, I don't want this effect to affect my text, so I'm going to bring it below my text. All right, I'm going to bring it just to be ahead of my image. All right, so it just affects the image and the background. I don't want it to affect my text. All right, so you can see this is before, this is after. So the final thing I'm going to do, Control Shift Alternate E to get a snap of my design, and I'm going to come to filter, and I'm going to come to camera raw. So this is the final adjustments. So I'm actually going to just make some little adjustments, increase my texture, increase my clarity, and then reduce my blacks a little. Yes, and then come to details, and then increase my sharpening as well. So this is the before, this is after. Alright, so I'm okay with this. Alright, so this is our design. So ensure you save your design, and then you export your design. So guys, this is it for this video. Please ensure you are subscribed, and see you guys in the next video. Thank you.